Hello, everyone. Welcome to my daily rant of my journey. Today's video, I am going to be sharing you what I have been working on. As I have mentioned, I've had a lot of projects and a lot of things have been going on, but recently something clicked. I'm not sure what it was, but it was nice. I got to wake up at a decent little time, about 5 in the morning. Not quite the system I want to go for yet. I want to become the person that wakes up earlier, but this is a good start. I'm starting to get back into the habit, which I am so happy for. And I also posted a little story out on my Instagram. It was a beautiful morning. I just had to share it. It was pretty, which I will share the pictures I took, and it made my day. So part of the thing that I've been wanting to show you is kind of like my process and what I have been doing a little bit behind the scenes. I am a person who wants to be an influencer in a way, and the best way I was able to kind of come to a conclusion is that I want to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to create a life where I am sharing the knowledge I'm learning with the younger generation so that they could get a head start of becoming who they want to be, but it's also achieving something I hoped I could become when I was a little girl. Part of it is the t-shirt I'm wearing, which this is not a advertising video. It's just, as a kid, this was my hero, Batman. I was inspired to become him because of the way I saw it. He helped people in the best way he think he could. He went out doing it. Aside from his night duties, Bruce Wayne would go out supporting his community, helping his community, trying to make it the best he can with the resources he has. And to me, that touched me because of the kind of person I have grown up with, the habits of the community around me. I was raised in a community where I was serving others and helping others in any way I can. I took that a little too far into helping others and not being able to help myself because I didn't know how. I was never taught how. So I developed some pretty bad habits where I was hurting myself and I hold myself at a lower standard than helping others. But since I was able to realize that a few years ago, I am working on improving myself. And how I kind of all connected this was the person I want to become because of that inspiration as a little girl wanting to become Batman. And then kind of hearing my parents is like, well, you can't really fight crime. And I was like, that I understand growing up now. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be a crime fighter, but how smart, intelligent Bruce Wayne is, that he is a detective and also a business person that helps the community. There is qualities about him that I started seeing in entrepreneurs. So at the time, my heart was a little broken because it's like, oh, I couldn't be a crime fighter because to me, I I couldn't be the crime fighter I watched all the time growing up was some of the things that my parents hit me pretty hard. But looking back at it, sure, I can't necessarily be Batman, but I could have some of the qualities that made him the way he is to better help the community. And I don't fit in with people what they've called normal. I've always had this urge that I could always do more, which is why I've created this channel and why I've been making these steps. Which, sorry, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but kind of wanted to let people know and get to know who I am. I'm also someone that organize. I like things put together in my own way from all the different hobbies and things that I've wanted to do. So there are times I don't seem like I'm a pretty organized person, but a lot of people have pointed out on how very organized I am, though at times I do feel like a complete mess. But that is part of life. I wanted to share some of the books that I have been using to kind of help me out. Recently, it's been a path where I would always be on paper. It was always fascinating when I was creating my own stories and drawing, and it really connected me somehow. And I'm currently figuring out how to implement it in some way to better help what I'm doing currently. I had to get my books. Now, these aren't all of them. I have this blue one that I just found, but I'll grab it some other time, where I wanted to try journaling. It worked, but because I didn't know the process, especially of what I know now, I have fallen out of it, and it has just been a thing of where I've just kept the most random things. Heck, even in my oldest little sketchbook that I got, it has a mixture of drawings and notes of all sorts of different things. So these little notebooks that I have right here, these are the ones where I have been kind of in a mixture of writing down my thoughts to the best of my ability. Not always daily, but I try to remind myself. This is more in writing down my thoughts, feelings, and things that I struck out to me in the day. Because I was on a previous journey where I was writing what I want my future life to be and kind of writing every day and try to be as detailed as possible, which I am very detail oriented. People will call me a perfectionist. That habit and skill is pretty beneficial, but I do know that because of that, I could get very focused on something and kind of forget all the other things. But I've learned that it could be quite a unique gift because I could really focus on the things I need to do. I just gotta remind myself every once in a while, I gotta take a step back, look at it, and see if I'm still following along with my process or not, which is another thing I've learned. But I had a full notebook full of what I wanted my life to be and tried it. It was almost daily until that's all I was doing. I wasn't really taking any action or anything. I was just writing it. And looking back at it, it it did kind of spark the right idea. I need to continue writing down my thoughts and process. This notebook has definitely been a mixture between trying to figuring out habits. I have notes of different kind of how to take better care of myself, as well as how to balance out my work with my life and the things that I wanted to achieve. At one point, I was trying to do college. Did not work out so well, and then I kind of bumped into a little bit of another journaling video and one of the challenge as I dropped a few more notebooks, which I will get later. And it kind of just formed into a lot of things and got me curious of who I was, what I wanted to do, and it also was a thing of notes of what struck out to me of some of the books I started reading again. And just to, this was kind of more of in the lines of things I'm learning and try to get my thoughts around with having a better schedule or anything else that I was learning or interested, including with some of the business things that I have learned recently. I've recently been writing it in this notebook, which it was supposed to be a homemade planner, but I found another use for it. The other notebooks, these are a bit more recent because I would just write stuff everywhere. I do have a lot more notebooks, but I try to be more specific on what goes what. So those are more personal, slightly business, but definitely more personal, more learning, and writing down my thoughts. These ones are more business-wise. This one has a lot more notes in it from what I was thinking of the kind of goals, different strategies, as well as different business ideas that I was interested in and what I could do. And it's also holding one of my business plan that I'm planning to do for the upcoming year, while the blue one is for a very specific business, and I'm trying to gather more of the work that it's like, all right, these are the principles, this is the main goal, everything that someone should know, I want to put in this one. So I'm trying to orientate the stuff that I'm doing into specific notebooks. I have another one. This has been because I am doing a writing project, and this is where I have read as much as I could of the writing project I've been doing, and then putting stuff I want to add in or take out. All the editing kind of parts I put in this, while the idea of that writing project is in a red spiral notebook, where I've also have drawings on what things would look like, and it was a place of more the ideas and rough storyline before actually writing it. I have a new one where I've been recently writing out what I want to talk for the specific videos that I wanted to share. That is not the daily rant, because to me, I wanted the daily rant to be more improvised than anything, because it's better to get my thoughts out and just share what I've been meaning to talk about. That is all that I have for today. I need to work on a few things before I gotta get to work. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy your day and have a great weekend. Let's continue doing the work and be great. I'll see you in the next video.